Greetings guys and gals, this is XIJABERWALKIX bringing you the best in esports. Today we have Starcraft Broodwar, the PDPOP MSL round of 32 Group H winners match. This is going to be Cal versus Bisu on Dante's Peak. It looks like we have Cal, aka Godzilla. Don't know why he switched his name to Godzilla, because I think Cal is way cooler. Going to be spawning at the 8 o'clock position, and Bisu, Mr. I have grown my hair out ridiculously long, at the 1 or 2 o'clock position. Take your pick in purple. And this is going to be on Dante's Peak. It's a 4-player map where there are a lot of bridges. There's like 4 bridges going into the middle of the map from their second expos, and then just a little weird platform in the middle. But you know what, it doesn't really matter because it has 50% win rate for Protoss against Protoss. Well, I guess it would be 100% win rate for Protoss versus Protoss, to be honest, but not going to really influence the game too much. Pylon going down for Bisu in his main, as well as Cal, aka Godzilla, I believe, which means that there's no cheese going to go on for either one of these players. Probe Scout not yet out, probably going to scout after Gateway is what I'm assuming, and we're probably going to see a lot of Dragoon Reaver play is what I'm guessing. Looks like no scout yet for Cal. Cal opting not to scout soon, and Bisu sending a scout out after Gateway, so Bisu might be able to get a little bit more information than Cal. If Bisu is able to hold his ramp, then that's going to be very good for him. It looks like he's scouting in the right direction, cross position actually. Cal finally setting out his scout a little bit later than Bisu's, and possibly going to be scouting in the wrong direction, I believe. It looks like he's kind of going towards the north a little bit. Probably going to run into Bisu's scout actually, so he is going to scout cross position. Both players scouting in the right direction, so Cal's going to know that he is at the top right. And Bisu going to obviously get in his base a little bit sooner. Simulators going down for both players, so far a very, very mirror matchup is what it looks like. Bisu scout now going up the ramp, and Cal has a 55 win rate versus Protoss, and Bisu, I believe, has a 65 win rate. However, Cal is ranked higher by K-Spot, which I don't really understand since Bisu has been on an absolute tear. Cal is actually currently ranked 6th, and Bisu is ranked 9th. Or no, 8th, sorry. 8th, not 9th. That scout's still in Cal's base for Bisu. Looks like Cal's scout is also in as well. Cybernetics core going down for both players, and it looks like Pylon going down at the back of the base for Bisu, so that probe's not going to really be able to run around there. I think it makes a complete block with that mineral line. Cal doesn't look like he's set down his pylon quite yet. That core is up, not spinning just yet. The core is like about 2/3 the way done for Cal, so Bisu's going to be a little bit ahead in terms of his ability to make Dragoons, but I don't think it's going to matter that much. Core's still not spinning, and there goes the core spinning. And that probe does see that, so he's obviously going to think that he's going for Dragoon speed. Don't think this is a fake, Dragoon range, not Dragoon speed. I don't know why I always call it Dragoon speed, but Dragoon range is very, very super standard for PvP matchups, Just want that extra range for your Dragoon, since most of PvP is Dragoon on Dragoon play, along with possible some DTs, or usually Reavers though. Usually it's Reaver, Dragoon, pretty much the entire game. And these games usually aren't very long, PvP doesn't make for super long matches. Usually the games last until about the mid game, and it's about done then. But ooh, Citadel of a Dune going up rather than Robotics, and so it looks like we might be going for either DTs or Zealot speed in the early game here, and we're gonna have to see what Cal puts down. Bisu still has that probe in Cal's base, and so he's gonna be able to see everything. He does see that Robotics going down for Cal. Cal couldn't wait any longer. You try to delay as much as you can to kill that probe, so the opponent doesn't know what you're going for. But really, if you delay too long, you're gonna be just way too far behind. So he does put down that Robotics facility. So deviation there. We see a Citadel of a Dune for Bisu and a Robotics for Cal. So now we have to see what Cal puts down first. If he puts down the Robotics Bay, or so we are going to see DTs. If he puts down the Robotics Bay, or if he puts down the Observatory. If he puts down the Robotics Bay first, and if he goes for a shuttle into a Reaver, that could be really bad for Cal if Bisu goes for this DT push. He might be going for early High Templar as well with Storm. as he is picking up that base, but I'm assuming that he's going to go for DTs just because he is the ninja toss that Cybernetics Core is still spinning, so still upgrading Dragoon range there. That robotics is down. I don't know if they clicked on that building to see what that is. That's another gateway, so he hasn't even put down a observatory or a robo, so no really idea, and still not going for the robo. He's going to go for the forge instead, possibly to put some cannons at the front to deter any type of early attack that Cal wants to put down. Robotics facility going, or robotics support rather, going down for Cal. So we are going to see Reavers first, and if Bisu is able to get a DT out, don't know if he's going to go for DTs, might be going for High Templar, but if he's able to get a DT out, that's going to be very good for him, as Cal's opting to go for more of an offensive build rather than get that observatory. Still no observatory in the area, so the first DT is out for Bisu. He's going to go cross positions. This is going to be, you know, if they were at some other type of position, don't know if that probe saw that. If that probe saw that movement, then he's going to obviously know that DTs are on the way. But, you know, cross position is a little disadvantageous for Bisu just because his DT has to go all the long way. We still don't see a Reaver out for Cal. But he has absolutely no detection. He hasn't built an observatory. He doesn't even have a forge. He's not going to have detection for a very long time. And this DT could actually win Bisu the game. He could kill enough probes and, you know, delay the mining long enough to where he's able to just outright win. But here comes the observatory. The observatory is about 2/3 of the way done. I don't know if Cal has seen the DT yet. He obviously has his observatory just for fun. He might have seen that with the probe as well. And here comes the DT. Let's see how many probe kills he can get. He gets 1 probe kill, 2 probe kills. He's gonna have to pull back, and Bisu now morphing in cannons at his front. He's gonna have to delay this attack. He does have 1 High Templar in the back. Don't know if he has Storm yet, but he has obviously disrupted pretty much the entire mining for Cal. I don't know if that Nexus is up at his natural, and it is not. He's gonna have to distance mine. That's gonna be terrible. He probably does have an observer out at the moment, but he's, you know, he's fighting DTs at 2 front, and he only really has 1 observer. Here comes the shuttle, probably with a Reaver inside, gonna try to drop in the base. More cannons morphing in at the front for Bisu. Bisu is transferring his probes to his second base. Here comes the Reaver. Oh man, 3 probes I believe just die from that. He needs to be careful not to lose that shuttle though. He's able to just, you know, pretty much deter this army just with that single DT because the observer just now coming out, and Cal's had to resort to distance mining, which is gonna put him very far behind Bisu economically, just because Bisu has 2 bases at the moment. You know, the Reaver with that Scarab kill, killing about 2 or 3 probes, did quite some damage, but not enough to really make up for the fact that he's had to distance mine this whole time. Don't know how he got that DT out of his base, but he was able to, and Cal's gonna have to back up here. It looks like he might have a shuttle behind the mineral mine, and he does. Here comes the Reaver getting off a Scarab, and the Scarab is probably gonna die, probably not gonna do anything, to be completely honest. Not even hitting that probe at the south of that Nexus, doing a very nice job of running his probes. Bisu is just, you know, getting farther and farther ahead the more that he's able to just maintain this ability here, and the Reaver taking some hits. That Scarab is also gonna die, unfortunately. Oh man, that was actually really close. Bisu returning his probes very quickly, and the shuttle's getting 2 hits off of him. He needs to be careful not to lose that shuttle. That would be absolutely devastating, because this is the only way he's keeping Bisu in his base. The absolute only way. Bisu running his probes, but now realizing that that shuttle is not going to be able to drop off that Reaver, and does send them back to mine. Bisu now macroing up a bigger and bigger force. That observer does see that DT coming in from the north, and so he's going to be able to react accordingly. Probably, I'm assuming that he set up some type of forge. We see the core still spinning, which is really kind of weird. Don't know if he might have faked actually at the beginning, and, you know, like he was going for Cybernet or Dragoon range and canceled it, so he had more gas for those DTs, and now is just getting up his Dragoon range. But, you know, that would have been a really late cancel if he would have done that. If that core is spinning and he already had Dragoon range, he's probably going for something like Carriers, as Corsairs would not be really effective. You know, you really wouldn't just get a Stargate in Corsairs to deal with shuttles. You could pretty much do that with Dragoon. So if he is getting +1 for anything, it's probably, I mean, I guess he could get it for air defense, air armor 1 to just reinforce his shuttles, but if anything, he'd probably be going for Carriers, which would be absolutely stupid to go Carriers off of 2 bases. So I'm assuming that he did fake at the beginning, and now he is getting that Dragoon range. We do see a Citadel down for Cal, and so we're gonna, you know, I'm not entirely sure what he's going to use that Citadel for might be for some High Templar that he wants to get out, or even some Dark Templar. But you know, Bisu does have the Observatory. He's not going to have the element of surprise that Bisu did at the beginning of the game. This is Observer just poking around, looking at all of Bisu has. Bisu looks like he's wanting to extend his lead and get an expansion at that 3 o'clock position. And it looks like both players are just pretty much content to stay outside the bases. Palin going down by that geyser. And, you know, he's pretty... I mean, he could use a little bit more saturation at his natural, but pretty good saturation at both of the bases. Cal now just getting his base up and running. Here comes a shuttle, about half health, full shield, coming in from the south. Hopefully this doesn't get picked off by Bisu. Another gateway being morphed in by Cal. And he's got his base fully up and running now. So he's at 2 bases, Bisu's at 2 bases, but it's just that Bisu's been at 2 bases so much longer. Here comes the shuttle. The Observer sees pretty much all the forces that Bisu has, all those Dragoons. Bisu now getting his macro on, building 2 more gateways for a total of 6, I believe. That Forge is spinning probably +1 weapons for ground units. And Cal's also getting his macro on, building 3 more gateways, so he's going to be at 5 gates, while Bisu is at 6, and that's just really a fact of Bisu having his second base up a lot sooner, and so he's able to macro up just that little bit more. Bisu might be pushing out now, building pylons, almost like Starcraft 2-esque, where you can warp in units as he goes, or as the missile turrets for the Terran player. Don't know exactly why he's doing that, maybe just for extra scouting, or something of that sort. He looks like he is a little bit worried about Reavers coming into his base, so while his units are away, he's building some cannons to make sure that he detects any type of, you know, DT drop, or any Reaver drop, so he's able to kind of defend against that moderately. Here comes Bisu's forces just amassing right behind that bridge, and those are the bridges that I was talking about. There's one going from each second natural, I guess you could say, for each of the bases. And Bisu, man, he's just got a ton more forces. It looks like there are 2 Reavers out for Cal. Don't know if Bisu has any Reavers, to be completely honest. But yeah, it looks like he's elected to go for High Templars rather than Reavers, which I don't know how I like that play, just because Bisu's shuttle micro is just so good. He's able to pick off that Observer, but yeah, Bisu has just such good shuttle micro. That Observer did see Bisu's entire army. It looks like Cal might be going towards the top left, but no, it looks like he's going to retreat, try to defend his base. Bisu also picking up an expansion, opting to go for that frontal expansion, I guess you could say, in the middle of the map, rather than the 3 o'clock. Don't know why he didn't take the 3 o'clock. I think the 3 o'clock would have been a little bit better, but at the same time, he can rally his units to that frontal base, and he doesn't have to defend on so many fronts. He's really just kind of tucked into that top right corner there. And so we do have that Nexus morphing in, and Bisu just now attacking. He does have an Archon in the mix. It looks like that Archon is trying to go out, but it's not able to. Those probes like distance mining or something, and it's not able to get past them. Bisu just pretty much macroed up a huge army, and now he's just kind of dancing it around Cal. I really think that he could take on Cal at any moment, and now he's picking up his 3rd base, which is just going to be so crucial. Cal now has High Templars in the mix as well, and I think that Bisu should have attacked just a little bit sooner, to be completely honest, because now that Cal has High Templars, I'm assuming that he has Storm, and this will probably... it'll be a little bit harder for Bisu to push in the front just because of that. That Forge is still spinning, which I'm assuming that he's going for +1 armor at this time now. Oh, yeah, he is going for +1 armor because that +1 weapons is already being researched. I mean, he could be going for +2 armor, or +2 weapons, but usually players like to go 1-1. Just to start out with. And here comes Bisu's army just charging towards Cal. Cal's putting up a good defense. He's trying to get his Zealots out in the front. The Reavers are in the front as well. He's going to lose some of these Dragoons, but Zealots taking 2 hits from those Reavers, and those Reavers are just so powerful. Those Reavers just do so much damage. Bisu's going to have to do some good micro, especially because he doesn't have Reavers of his own. Here come Archons. Good storm by Bisu. Good storm by Cal, and just huge battle going on. Reavers attacking, but I just don't think there's enough meat for Cal. 2 really good storms going off on those Reavers. This is going to be GG for sure. Bisu just absolutely overrunning Cal. Unfortunately for Cal, he just didn't have enough Dragoons, didn't have enough Zealots in the mix to really deal with Bisu's army, even though Bisu didn't have Reavers, and that's the thing, those Reavers really need some meat in front of them. Cal GG's, and Bisu now in the round of 16. Nice job by him. I think Cal's going to play the winner of the losers match now, is what I believe happens, to play the final match to see who advances. It's round of 16, but that's game, guys. And if you like what you saw, remember to subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Lates.